Walking in victory. Walking in victory. Walking in victory. My joy. Said I'm walking in victory. Walking in victory. Walking in victory. Never go back. Walking in victory. I've been set free, healed, delivered. Now I'm walking everybody. I think we sang this long enough for y'all to know it, right? So, one thing I want y'all to remember is that even though we have the problems that we have, that as long as we can check ourselves and put ourselves in Hamashiach, put him in us. And if we turn around and follow the truth, listen to our word, truly be delivered. Can I get a witness to that? Yeah. Can I get a witness to that? Yeah. All right now. There you go. Well, God. All I see to do is hurt me.
real quick. We got to give it up one time for our youth. First off, let's give it up one time for our praise team. Let's give it up one time. But I want to introduce y'all to somebody. Elder Martin, if you could step to your left just a little bit. BJ, if you can step to your left just a little bit. I want you to raise one of them sticks up. Everybody say hallelujah. Hallelujah. Everybody say hallelujah. Hallelujah. What's your name? Who's Josiah? Right? Now listen here. This brother got a gift. Yes, sir. Right? Then we gonna start the nature. Or how you say it? Is it nurture? Nurture. Y'all know what I meant. Huh? You know? We gonna nurture this gift. And as he share this gift with y'all, we gonna go ahead and do what we do. Huh? Y'all know what that is, right? Y'all know what that is, right?
Yeah, there you go. There you go. Where's the tambourine? Let's go. Hey. Hey. Where's the tambourine? Hey. Hey. Yeah.
For those of y'all, this is your first time. We get a little hype on this song here, so I can't promise you that the roof won't come off when we get into this thing. Cause this song for y'all, right? Hallelujah! I said this for y'all, right? Hallelujah! Alright, you ready? Hey! a little bit lower. Sing baby. Yeah. Yeah, 6 points. I need it down here. Let me see. On the count of 3, we gonna blow this place up. You ready? They want to hear us outside. You ready? 1, 2, 3, All praises be to the... Y'all standing like y'all want another song or something. Y'all got... I said y'all got the lighters up in the back. Y'all standing up like y'all want another song or something. All right, man. We'll save it till next week. We'll save it till next week. Hallelujah. Y'all ready for some word? Whoa. Y'all ready for some word? Hallelujah. All right, we got a dynamic speaker coming up here today. Now that it's just the Emmy. Hello. What the frick, Emmy?
I know you're gonna need it. Yeah, definitely.
Mayim, please. Thank you, sir. Playing that cowbell is a lot of work. Woo!
Staying on beat with that thing. Boy.
Y'all give it up for the best cowbell player we ever seen. The Emmy Yellow. Brother Qua.
Every yellow on that cowbell.
All right, Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. All right, Ma's about to go ahead and drop something good for y'all. So let's get to it.
As Mike said, Shabbat Shalom. How's everybody feeling? Excellent, right? We are again well pleased with your praise and worship effort this week.
Hallelujah.
We must continue in this way. I appreciate it. I can dig it. So, after so many weeks, for me, we finally have made it out of the garden. We got the swords.
We got seats in the front.
Got a sword design in. It's good, man.
Shabbat Shalom. If it's your first time here, visiting with us for the first time, fellowshipping with us for the first time. First time? It's your first time here? If y'all wouldn't mind standing and just introduce yourself so we can acknowledge you. That's all.
I'm Lakenji.
Lakenji?
Yes.
Nice to meet you, sister. Who invited you out? Ayana? Oh, okay. Yana. Well, sisters, we are pleased to make your acquaintance. Hold on, as soon as the
Usher do what she do.
Sister Wanda, Usher, mother, sister, daughter. Yeah. Y'all know she got about 11 hats under that wrap. She got about 11 hats under there. 11. Okay.
Hey y'all, real quick. In the back, is that brown cord still plugged into the wall? Yeah. All right, cool. We good.
All right. So we just wanted to say, sister, welcome. Feel free to come out and fellowship with us anytime, every time, all the time. We ask that if you have any questions about the lesson, that you kind of table it into the end, unless it's something real quick. But yeah, I just want to extend the official welcome, and glad to have you out with us today. Video pro.
One moment.
Scrolls. Where are the pros? Where are the pros? Pros. I think the program might be pros.
Mic check.
Check 1 2 2 2. One moment the stream is acting up.
Audio is coming through. The video is done.
So the audio is coming.
Audio coming through. The video is just
Yeah, they said the audio was good.
The audio is good.
Boom, 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 boom. Boom, 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 boom. Boom, 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 boom.
The audio still coming through?
Yeah.
I don't know if it stops yet, but it's still coming.
Yeah, it's still
Audio coming through?
Video is frozen, audio is not.
You got one more out? You got one more? Couple more? Got two up front.
You good up? You good up? Now these in? One,
So we need three. We need three out.
Yeah, no. Yeah, on camera ain't working at all.
starting to come up. I can see your face.
That's important. One moment, y'all. One moment, please. Bear with us.
That's what it's hooked up to right now. Like the camera just stopped working.
Please, just give us one moment.
It's plugged, yeah. You see me?
That's all dead man.
Yeah. You see, huh?
Yeah, that's all this
Okay, give me 1 second. Hold on.
Yeah, we appreciate y'all for staying on. Just give us one moment to work out these technical difficulties. Somebody saying, push on, all we need is audio. Remember Shema. Hear, O Israel.
Yeah, but it's using this. It's gonna have to be good enough. Back to this bad. What happened? Figure it out later.
Y'all give it up for me, man. Get the big screen for the technical genius.
Boy Nemo, come back home.
Nemo, if you watching, come on back.
You're gonna have to move. You can't keep your feet still, you're gonna have to move.
My leg get it back.
This boy take one more tumble, it ain't not working off.
So we do got a full screen, hallelujah. Yeah. And we got audio, hallelujah.
You're gonna have to move, bro. You move. Find another seat. You're guaranteed to kick this off. I don't know.
It ain't in that box.
There ain't nothing in that box. That little piece down here lost. Hey, find another seat. There you go. Enough.
You gotta use the bathroom. You gotta do it right here. Do it, bro.
Alright, as good as it's gonna get. Good. It's all good.
It's all good. Check it out.
Check one more. You ready?
All right. All right. So we're going to go into Cain this week. What do y'all know about Cain? Adam's son?
Good answer, good answer, good answer.
He killed his brother? He did what? He tilled the ground. It's marked. Okay. First murderer, okay. He was what? Selfish, yeah.
He got a curse on him.
He got a curse on him? You sure? Okay. Made to wonder, alright.
He was actually murdered by a great grandson.
We have to see about that one.
Mark.
He was marked. Okay? So we're going to go through this and see what we can find out about Cain. Alright, let's go to, so we finally out of the garden. Alright? Post-garden. Let's go to Genesis chapter 4.
Genesis of Bereshit chapter 4 and verse 1. And Adam knew Eve his wife, and she conceived, and bare Cain, and said, I have gotten a man from Yahuwah.
So I want you all to highlight and remember anything that sticks out to you while we're reading this. Alright? Anything that sticks out to you, remember it or highlight it. Read.
And Adam knew Eve his wife, and she conceived, and bare Cain, and said, I have gotten a man from Yahuwah. And she again bare his brother Abel. And Abel was a keeper of sheep, but Cain was a tiller of the ground. And in process of time, it came to pass that Cain brought the fruit of the ground, an offering unto Yahuwah. And Abel, he also brought of the firstlings of his flock, and of the fat thereof. And Yahuwah had respect unto Abel and to his offering. But unto Cain and to his offering he had not respect. And Cain was very wroth, and his countenance fell. And Yahuwah said unto Cain, why are you wroth? Why is your countenance fallen? If you do well, should you not be accepted? And if you do not well, sin lies at the door. And unto you shall be his desire, and you shall rule over him.
You shall rule over him.
You shall rule. Read that again,
If you do well, shall you not be accepted? And if you do not well, sin lies at the door. And unto you shall be his desire, and you shall rule over him.
And you shall rule over him. What's the him in this? You shall rule over. Okay. Keep that in mind. Okay.
And Cain talked with Abel his brother. And it came to pass when they were in the field that Cain rose up against Abel his brother and slew him. And Yahuwah said unto Cain, where is Abel your brother? And he said, I know not. Am I my brother's keeper? And he said, what have you done? The voice of your brother's blood cry unto me from the ground. And now are you cursed from the earth, which hath opened her mouth to receive your brother's blood from your hand. When you till the ground, it shall not henceforth yield unto you her strength. A fugitive and a vagabond shall you be in the earth. And Cain said unto Yahuwah, my punishment is greater than I can bear. Behold, you have driven me out this day from the face of the earth, and from your face shall I be hid, and I shall be a fugitive and a vagabond in the earth. And it shall come to pass that everyone that find me shall slay me. And Yahuwah said unto him, therefore, whosoever slay Cain, vengeance shall be taken on him sevenfold. And Yahuwah set a mark upon Cain, lest any finding him should kill him. And Cain went out from the presence of Yahuwah, and dwelt in the land of Nod, on the east of Eden. And Cain knew his wife, And she conceived and bare Enoch. And
So right here, what stands out of what he just read? Go ahead. Okay, you got a mark on him.
Fugitive in the vagabond.
Fugitive and a vagabond. Punishment too great to bear. Okay, got married. Wife bearing a son. So out of all that, that's all we get. Verse 7, read that.
If you do well, shall you not be accepted? And if you do not well, sin lies at the door. And unto you shall be his desire, and you shall rule over him.
Okay, we're going to address this verse. Verse 11.
Verse 11. And now you are cursed from the earth, which have opened her mouth to receive your brother's blood from your hand.
Okay.
Verse 3. And in process of time, it came to pass, that boy, that Cain brought the fruit of the ground and offering unto Yahuwah.
Yeah, we're going to address this. Anything else? So out of all of that, that's what we see. You got something, B?
That's the other people part. All about the game.
Okay. All right, so let's walk through this. So we got about like 11 things out of all of that. So let's. One moment. Read this for me. John chapter 3, verse 17. Stay in where y'all at?
John chapter 3, verse 17. For Elohim sent not his son into the world to condemn the world, but that the world through him might be saved.
That the world through him might be saved. For Elohim sent not his son into the world to condemn the world, but that the world through him might be saved. What do y'all think that means? It's definitely talking about Mashiach. And it says, again, for Elohim sent not his son into the world to condemn the world, but that the world through him might be saved.
He doesn't want to destroy the world, he wants the world to repent. Save the
Absolutely. Okay. He wants the world to repent so it don't be destroyed, basically. That's what he's saying. So let's pick it up. I want y'all to remember this verse as well. John 3:17. All right. Go back to Genesis chapter 4, pick it up in verse 1.
Genesis, or Bereshit chapter 4 at verse 1. And Adam knew Eve, his wife, and she conceived and bare Cain, and said, I have gotten a man, read, from Yahuwah.
Got a man from Yahuwah. So, anybody know what Cain's name means? What does it mean? Hold on, let's see. So Cain comes from the H7014. Kenite Smith. Let's go down. The same as 87013 with a play upon the affinity of 7069. Let's see what that means. To get acquire, create, buy, possess. I want y'all to keep these words in your mind. Say get, acquire, create, buy, possess. Because after all, when Eve conceived him, what did she say?
I have gotten.
She said, I have gotten, right? So she got something, she acquired something, she's in possession of something. Now, keep this in mind. Pick it up at verse 2.
Verse 2. And she bare his brother Abel. And Abel was a keeper of sheep, but Cain was a tiller of the ground.
He was what?
A tiller of the ground.
So we have one son that's a shepherd, and the other one is a farmer. Right? Read.
And in process of time, it came to pass that Cain brought the fruit of the ground in offering unto Yahuwah. And Abel, he also brought of the firstlings of his flock, and of the fat thereof, and Yahuwah had respect unto Abel and to his offering.
Go ahead.
But unto Cain and to his offering, he had not respect. And Cain,
He had what?
he had not respect.
So why don't he respect Cain's offering? He didn't give him the best? Okay, you got some book on it?
Oh boy, Maccabees say, I got you. One moment, please.
So it's the reason that he didn't accept Cain's offering and he did respect Abel's offering. You got me? Remember, all straightforward questions, no tricks. I'm not debating with nobody in here, so I don't want to trip nobody up. It's all straightforward, everything.
He not lawyering you.
Got something for me, Art?
Give him 2 moments.
Because previously we thought that it was talking about because it was a right sacrifice wasn't made, right?
Right.
That it had to be something to do with a blood sacrifice. Say it again. Yahuwah's choice?
Real practice.
You actually sit in that one.
So it's hanging over my wing and prayer.
You got me back?
Does it have anything to do with the fact he brought also the fat thereof? It doesn't say that about Cain. It says he brought the fruit of the ground.
That's a part of it. That's a part of it. Okay.
First thing.
That's what we previously believed. That's what we previously believed. But let's get into it. So read that Genesis 4, that verse again.
Let me clear it up because there's people on the chat saying the same thing. So beforehand, the way that we taught this was that the ground was cursed, right? But when you know better, you teach better, right? So we're going to get into the law, interpreting the law on why his offering was not accepted, all right?
Okay, read that verse again.
Genesis chapter 4 at verse 3. And in the process of time, it came to pass that Cain brought the fruit of the ground and offering unto Yahuwah. And Abel, he also brought of the firstlings of his flock, and of the fat thereof. And Yahuwah had respect unto Abel and to his offering. But unto Cain and to his offering he had not respect. And Cain was very wroth, and his countenance fell.
So right here in verse 3, it gives us a clue. He told us beforehand that Cain was a tiller of the ground, meaning a farmer, and he told us that Abel was a shepherd. He did with sheep, so they was given something from their occupation of what they do. But in verse 3, it gives us something that says, and in the process of time. What time is that? That's what we got to find out. So it says in the process of time. So let's look up this process. It means the end. So this process of time means the end. The end of what?
I would say, is it because he ain't bring the first fruits? And his brother bought first of his flock?
Yeah. Exactly. So we got to think as a farmer, right? So this is the end of time. So it's at the end of the harvest when Cain brings forth what he has, right? So the first fruit, he don't give him his very best, the first of it. He waits to the end of harvest and give him the trash, the little stuff that's hanging on by a thread. Let's see that with book though. Get Exodus, stay here y'all, Exodus chapter 22, verse 29.
Exodus chapter 22, verse 29. You shall not delay.
You shall what?
You shall not delay.
Don't wait till the end. Don't do it in the process of time. Read.
You shall not delay to offer the first of your ripe fruits.
So he waited until the end of the harvest. He waited till it's almost about to get to the fall, like right now, to bring it to him. It's supposed to be first, right? Read.
You shall not delay to offer the first of your ripe fruits and of your liquors. The firstborn of your son shall you give unto me.
Next verse.
Likewise shall you do with your oxen and with your sheep. 7 days it shall be with his dam. On the 8th day you shall give it to me.
So you can see Cain brought the very best of his,
Abel.
the first. Abel brought the first of his, but Cain waited until the end and gave him the scraps, the scragglers at the end. This is why it's not accepted, right? Now he told him, do well. Next year around this time, bring me the first, right? Giving him an opportunity. Go back to the Genesis.
Yep.
Pick it up at verse 5.
Genesis 4 and 5. But unto Cain and to his offering he had not respect. And Cain was very wroth.
He was what?
Very wroth.
He was very wroth. Hold that. Get me 2 Timothy chapter 3. Pick it up at verse 1.
2 Timothy chapter 3 and verse 1. This know also that in the last days perilous times shall come. For men shall be lovers of their own selves, covetous, boasters, proud, blasphemers, disobedient to parents, unthankful, unholy, without natural affection.
Without what?
Without natural affection.
Without natural affections. So now when you read this, you're going to know where it's actually pointing you back to. Without natural affections. Read.
Truce breakers, false accusers, incontinent, fierce, despisers of those that are good.
What is it?
Despisers of those that are good.
Despisers of those that are good. Abel was good, right? Read.
Traitors, heady, high-minded, lovers of pleasures more than lovers of Elohim. Having the form of godliness.
Having what?
The form of godliness.
Having a form of godliness. So he was a religious guy because he felt like he was doing what was required of him, right? So he was coming, praise, worship, the whole nine. He was doing it, but he wanted to do it in his own way. Read.
Having the form of godliness, but denying the power thereof.
But doing what?
But denying the power thereof.
But denying the power thereof. So this person right here, this is pointing all the way back to Cain. Let's go back.
From such turn away.
Get up at verse 6 again.
Genesis 4 and 6. And Yahuwah said unto Cain, why are you wroth? And why is your countenance fallen? If you do well, shall you not be accepted? If you do not well, sin lie at the door, and unto you shall be his desire, and you shall rule over him.
And what?
And you shall rule over him.
What verse you at?
That's verse 7.
Read on.
And Cain talked with Abel his brother.
He did what?
And Cain talked with Abel his brother.
He talked with Abel his brother. Read.
And it came to pass when they were in the field.
So, hold on. What do you think they was talking about? What was Abel? What was Abel the first one of?
Shepherd.
First shepherd? Adam. What was Adam? He was over the animals. So that's not that. Go ahead.
Were they talking about the sacrifice?
Could have been. Hold that. Let's get Luke chapter 11 and 48. Let's see what Cain was the first one of. This type of person, the people was always mad at him. Yep.
Luke chapter 11 and verse 48. Truly you bear witness that you allow the deeds of your fathers, for they indeed killed them, and you build their sepulchres. Therefore also said the wisdom of Elohim, I will send them prophets and apostles, and some of them they shall slay and persecute, that the blood of all the prophets which was shed from the foundation of the world.
It said that the blood of all the prophets which was shed from the foundation of the world, read,
may be required of this generation.
Let's see from the foundation, read.
From the blood of Abel.
From the who?
From the blood of Abel.
From the blood of Abel. Abel was the first prophet. So it's required from all the way from him, all the way out, read.
Unto the blood of Zechariah, which perished between the altar and the temple.
So he was talking with his brother, and I'm pretty sure his brother was doing what a prophet do. Tell you, thus saith the Most High. And when you try to do that, what do people tend to be like with you? They get mad because they don't want to hear what they doing is wrong, right? So again, heady, high-minded, lovers of pleasure more than Yah. All the stuff we just read in that Timothy. Go back. Verse 8 again.
Genesis or Bereshit chapter 4 verse 8. And Cain talked with Abel his brother. And it came to pass when they were in the field that Cain rose up against Abel his brother and slew him.
And did what?
And slew him.
And slew him. Wow. That's without natural affection, right? You can kill your own brother. That's without natural affection. So what did he do right here? What did he take in his own hands? Judgment. Wow, who gave you the right to do this? To take your brother's life? Hold that. Matthew chapter 23:23.
Matthew chapter 23 and verse 23. Woe unto you, scribes and Pharisees.
So if Cain was if Abel is the first prophet, then what would that make Abel? What would that make Cain?
First murder.
First murderer, but listen at it. Exactly. But make him the scribe. And make him like them. Read.
Woe unto you, scribes and Pharisees, hypocrites! For you pay tithe of mint and anise and cumin, but have omitted the weightier matters of the law.
Because he brought an offering, right? He thought he was doing right, just like they thought they was doing right. Read.
But have omitted the weightier matters of the law. Judgment, mercy.
What?
Judgment, mercy.
He showed his brother no mercy for no reason. Read.
And faith.
And what?
And faith.
And faith. We know through the joints that Abel is known for having faith. He has no faith. We're going to see it.
That Cain rose up against his brother Abel and slew him.
Did what?
And slew him.
And slew him. Read.
And Yahuwah said unto Cain, Where is Abel your brother? And he said, I know not.
He said, read that again.
Where is Abel your brother? And he said, I know not.
As soon as he commit the sin, Yah shows up on the scene. Just like as soon as Adam and Eve committed their sin, Yah shows right up on them. Where you at? Where your brother at?
Yeah.
Remember, Yah don't ask questions because he don't know the answer. He's trying to do something with you. When Yah asks you these questions, what is he trying to do?
Get you to tell the truth.
Get you to tell the truth, to confess. Confess your faults. Right? Read that again.
And he said, verse 9. And Yahuwah said unto Cain, Where is Abel your brother? And he said, I know not. Am I my brother's keeper?
He gets smart with Yah. I don't know where he at. Am I supposed to be keeping him? Can you imagine you got the nerve to talk to Yah like this? Wow. How proud and heady and high-minded you got to be to talk to him like that.
Yeah.
Without a second thought. I don't know where that nigga at. Wow. So, giving them the opportunity to confess. Hold that, get Leviticus 26 and 40. Leviticus chapter 26 and verse 40.
Leviticus chapter 26 and verse 40. If they shall confess their iniquity.
If what?
If they shall confess their iniquity.
This is what you gotta do. When Yah come to you, he already know what you have done. But he wants you to confess it. Always remember this. Read.
If they shall confess their iniquity and the iniquity of their fathers with their trespass which they have trespassed against me, and that also they have walked contrary unto me, and that I have walked contrary unto them, and have brought them into the land of their enemies, if then their uncircumcised hearts be humble.
Be what?
Be humble.
Be humble. What's the opposite of humble?
Prideful.
Prideful. Read.
And they then accept of the punishment of their iniquity, then will I remember my covenant with Jacob.
Then what?
Then will I remember my covenant with Jacob.
Only then will I remember it. Read.
And also my covenant with Isaac. And also my covenant with Abraham will I remember.
This is the only way you must confess. What's the greatest confession that y'all can think of in the scripts? No, I mean after you sin. After you sin.
What's the greatest one?
Yeah.
Who gave it?
B said it. David.
Yeah.
Let's see. 2 Samuel chapter 12. Do what David did. 2 Samuel chapter 12, verse 7. Again, this is why we can't be so judgmental and we can't have it in our minds. Oh, I can't wait for Yah to kill this person. Right? I want you to really, really stick to you. Don't hope that nobody died. Don't wish anybody to go to the lake of fire. Please don't do that.
Not even Esau.
Don't do it. Because you gonna know what you're doing. Right? Just gonna show you this. Read
2 Samuel chapter 12 and verse 7. And Nathan said to David, you are that man.
You what?
You are that man.
You are that man. Remember, just before this, David said, whoever did this, that man shall be put to death. Right? But he found out right after that, he was talking about him. Let's see who David passed the buck like Adam and Eve did. Let's see who he do like Cain did. Read.
Thus saith Yahuwah Elohim of Israel, I anointed you king over Israel. I delivered you out of the hand of Saul, and I gave you your master's house, your master's wives into your bosom, and gave you the house of Israel and of Judah. And if that had been too little, I would moreover have given you such and such things. Wherefore have you despised the commandment of Yahuwah, to do evil in his sight? You have killed Uriah the Hittite with the sword, and have taken his wife to be, and has taken his wife to be your wife, and have slain him with the sword of the children of Ammon. Now therefore, the sword shall never depart from your house.
It said what?
Never depart from your house.
Who brought this on David?
David.
He brought it on himself, right? Again, remember, when you're going through something, look in the mirror and say, I did this to me. Right? I put this on me. Don't say, man, these people, you did it. Some kind of way you did it if you really think about it. Read.
Therefore, the sword shall never depart from your house, because you have despised me, and have taken the wife of Uriah the Hittite to be your wife. Thus saith Yahuwah, behold, I will raise up evil against you out of your own house.
Ooh. Read.
And I will take your wives before your eyes, and give them unto your neighbor, and he shall lie with your wives in the sight of this sun.
Because you tried to hide it, but I'm gonna make it that everybody know what you did. Read.
For you did it secretly, but I will do this thing before all of Israel, and before the sun. And David said unto Nathan, I have sinned.
What did he say?
I have sinned.
It was that woman. She was bathing on top of that roof, and I couldn't stop myself from looking, and she was washing her, and the water was flowing down her hair so beautiful. He didn't do that. He already know he caught. He confessed it. Read it again.
And David said unto Nathan, I have sinned.
I have sinned. You know how hard that had to be for him? I have sinned. And you know y'all watching this while he's saying it. Read.
I have sinned against Yahuwah. And Nathan said unto David, Yahuwah also hath put away your sin. You shall not die.
So right here, if he didn't confess, what would have happened?
Yahweh done him up.
Boom.
All right. It said, prepare your house. It's time to go.
So that confession is very, very big.
Hallelujah.
When you commit a trespass, let's go back to the Genesis 4, verse 9.
Bereshit chapter 4 and verse 9. And Yahuwah said unto Cain, where is Abel your brother? And he said, I don't know. Am I my brother's keeper? And he said, what have you done? The voice of your brother's blood cry unto me from the ground.
He said, the voice of your brother's blood cry unto the ground for me. What does that mean? And what do you think his blood was crying? Go ahead.
I've been murdered.
I've been murdered. Definitely he knows that he's been murdered, but what do you think it's saying? Avenge me. I want y'all to keep that in mind. His blood is screaming, avenge my death. Get him, pay him back. Can we see this somewhere else in script? Declaring the end from the beginning. Can we see this somewhere else in script? No takers. Where? Revelations. I like that. Let's see. Revelations chapter 6 and verse 9.
Boy, got his MC right, boy.
Boy, sharp. Revelations chapter 6 verse 9.
Revelation chapter 6 and verse 9. And when he opened the fifth seal, I saw under the altar the souls of them that were slain for the word of Elohim and for the testimony which they held. And they cried with a loud voice, saying, How long, O Yahuwah, Kodesh and true, do you not judge and avenge our blood on them that dwell on the earth?
So it's the same thing right here. Abel's blood is crying out in the same way. Avenge me. Repay this person that just murdered me. I want y'all to remember this. Genesis chapter 4, verse 11.
Bereshit chapter 4, verse 11.
Now what is Cain's occupation again?
Farmer.
Farmer, right? Read.
And now you are cursed from the earth, which hath opened her mouth to receive your brother's blood from your hand. When you till the ground, it shall not henceforth yield unto you her strength. A fugitive and a vagabond shall you be in the earth.
Stop right there. So now it says, when you till the ground, and now you are cursed from the earth, which hath opened her mouth to receive thy brother's blood from thy hand. And when thou tillest the ground, it shall not henceforth yield unto you her strength. Right? So when Adam sinned, what happened? Hold that, we're going to go right back. Genesis chapter 3, 19.
Genesis chapter 3 and verse 19. In the sweat of your face shall you eat bread, till you return unto the ground. For out of it were you taken. For dust you are, and dust shall you return. And Adam called his wife name Eve.
Matter of fact, pick it up at about verse 16.
Verse 16. And unto the woman he said, I will greatly multiply your sorrow and conception. In sorrow you shall bring forth children, and your desire shall be to your husband, and he shall rule over you. And unto Adam he said, because you have listened to the voice of your wife, and have eaten of the tree, of which I commanded you, saying, you shall not eat of it. Cursed is the ground for your sake.
What is it?
Cursed is the ground for your sake.
Go ahead.
In sorrow shall you eat of it all the days of your life.
So the ground is cursed on his behalf. It's going to be hard for Adam to farm, but not impossible. So let's see the difference. Go back to Genesis chapter 4, verse 12 again.
Genesis 4 and 12. When you till the ground, it shall not henceforth yield unto you her strength.
So it's going to be impossible for him to be a farmer now. He can't be a farmer no more. Since you didn't want to give me the first fruit, like you were supposed to, I'm going to take it all away from you. Right? So if he can't farm no more, what is he supposed to do to eat now? The what? He got to kill animals. He got to either be a thief and steal from people, or he got to kill animals. Right? Because you didn't want to do right. You brought this on yourself. Pick it up in verse 12 again.
Verse 12. When you till the ground, it shall not henceforth yield unto you her strength. A fugitive and a vagabond shall you be in the earth.
A fugitive and a vagabond shall you be in the earth. So let's look at these things. Fugitive and a vagabond. What is a fugitive? Somebody on the run. When you're on the run, you're a shaky person, right? So if the Most High ordained you to have a rest in the earth, why is it that a man would not want to take a rest day?
If you don't work. If you don't work.
I'm saying if the Most High gave you a day of rest, why would you not want to take it?
If you want to work.
It's the again, he give you a day of rest. Why would you not take it?
Because you want to work.
Because you want to work. And you want to work for what? Money, right? Possessions. To get, to acquire. What does his name mean again? To get, to acquire, to possess. Remember his mother said, I have gotten a man. So his name go back to something like this. Read.
And Cain said unto Yahuwah, my punishment is greater than I can bear.
He said his punishment is greater than he can bear. What should actually be his punishment?
Death.
Death. So how is this too great for you to bear? But I want y'all to notice he used a specific word. He said, my punishment is greater than I can bear. What does bear mean? To what? To carry. Why does he use that word out of everything? My punishment is greater than I can carry. Wow. Let's see something. His thing is he's supposed to actually die. Get Genesis chapter 9 verse 6.
Genesis chapter 9 and verse 6. Whoso shed man's blood, by man shall his blood be shed. For in the image of Elohim made he man.
So your actual punishment should be death. You said that your punishment is greater than you can bear. Right? Hold this. Let's get Isaiah chapter 53 verse 4. He actually deserved to die. Because you actually did what was being put on you. You did it. But it's somebody else that didn't deserve nothing. Read.
Isaiah chapter 53 and verse 4. Surely he hath borne our griefs.
He has did what?
Borne our griefs.
What does borne mean? To carry, right? Read.
Surely he hath borne our griefs and carried our sorrows.
And did what?
Carried our sorrows.
Carried our sorrows. Read.
Yet we did esteem him stricken, smitten of Elohim, and afflicted. But he was wounded for our transgressions. He was bruised for our iniquities. The chastisement of our peace was upon him.
Was upon who?
Was upon him.
Was upon him. So he didn't deserve any of this. But you know what? The punishment is too great for you to bear. I'll carry it. Right? He carried it. But again, they use this word bear for a reason. He always told you to take up your stake and follow me, right?
Yeah.
But at this moment, let's see something. Matthew chapter 27, verse 31. Matthew chapter 27, verse 31.
Matthew chapter 27 and verse 31. And after they had mocked him, they took the robe off from him and put his own raiment on him and led him away to crucify him. And as they came out, they found a man of Cyrene, Simon by name. Him they compelled to bear his cross.
To do what?
To bear his cross.
To bear his cross. He was so weak they done beat him so bad he couldn't carry the cross. My punishment is too great for me to bear. You see that? That's why they use that word bear in there. It's no coincidence. You know what I'm saying? Cain could have just said, the punishment too much for me. I can't take it. Specifically used to bear. All for a reason. Every word is for a reason. Read that verse one more time, the last one.
And as they came out, they found a man of Cyrene, Simon by name. Him they compelled to bear his cross.
All this is pointing to this. Genesis 4:14. It's about to get deeper.
Genesis, or Bereshit, chapter 4, at verse 14. And in the second month, on the seventh...
No, Genesis chapter 4.
I'm tripping. My bad. That's 10. Salakia. My bad, y'all. Behold, you have driven me out this day from the face of the earth, and from your face shall I be hid, and I shall be a fugitive and a vagabond in the earth. And it shall come to pass that everyone that find me shall slay me.
Everyone that finds me shall slay me. Why is he saying this? When you do something wrong, what do you feel like everybody around you? That everybody know it, right? Dang, this is guilt speaking. Everybody know what I've done. Oh, I don't want nobody to find out about it. The pride. Exactly. So, he says, my punishment is greater than I can bear. Behold, you have driven me out this day. Did y'all drive him out? Or did he leave on his own? We're going to see something. Read that 14 again.
Behold, you have driven me out this day from the face of the earth, and from your face shall I be hid, and I shall be a fugitive and a vagabond in the earth. And it shall come to pass that everyone that find me shall slay me.
Everyone that finds me shall slay me. Read. Hold on. What does this vagabond mean? A wanderer, right? Can we think of some other people that are wanderers in the scripture? Hebrews, be more specific. Edomites. Wow, you sure? Edomite? Let's see. Hold what you got. To wander. Hold that. Genesis chapter 27, verse 39.
Genesis chapter 27 at verse 39. And Isaac his father answered and said unto him, Behold, your dwelling shall be the fatness of the earth, and of the dew of Shamayim from above. And by your sword shall you live, and shall serve your brother. And it shall come to pass, when you shall have the dominion, that you shall break his yoke from off your neck.
He said, when you have the dominion, what does that dominion mean? No. Somebody look that dominion up for me. Come on, my scholars. To what? It means to wander. So Esau was a wanderer as well. Is he the only one? Sure? Let's see. Psalms 83, pick it up at verse 5. See who all got his characteristics.
Psalms
83, verse 5.
83 and verse 5. For they have consulted together with one consent. They are confederate against you. The tabernacles of Edom, the Ishmaelites of Moab, and the Hagarenes, Gebal, and Ammon, and Amalek, the Philistines with the inhabitants of Tyre. Ashur also is joined with them. They have hoping the children of Lot.
And did what?
Hoping the children of Lot.
So, it says the tabernacles. Somebody look tabernacles up for me. What else?
Nomad.
What kind of tent?
Nomad.
Nomads tent. These people are nomads. What do nomads do? They wander all through the desert. Keep this in mind. So these people are wanderers. Anybody else that's closer to home that was wanderers?
We're in the wilderness.
Yes, us, our people. He was in the desert for 40 years wandering. Matthew chapter 8, verse 20. Matthew chapter 8 and verse 20.
Matthew chapter 8 and verse 20. And Mashiach said unto him, the foxes have holes, and the birds of the air have nests, but the Son of Man have not where to lay his head.
He got what?
Have not where to lay his head.
So if he's saying I don't got nowhere to lay my head, what would that make him be doing? Let's see. Matthew chapter 9 verse 9.
Matthew 9 and 9. And Mashiach passed from thence, and he saw a man named Matthew sitting at the receipt of custom. And he said unto him, follow me.
Do what?
Follow me.
Follow me, because I'm a walker. Matthew chapter 10 verse 38.
Matthew 10 verse 38. And he that take not his stake and follow after me is not worthy of me.
Because he was constantly moving. Right? So let's go back. Genesis chapter 4. Pick it up at verse 15 again.
Bereshit chapter 4 at verse 15. And Yahuwah said unto him, therefore, whosoever slay Cain.
Whoso what?
Whosoever slay Cain.
Whosoever slay Cain, read.
Vengeance shall be taken on him sevenfold.
So, this guy just murdered his brother, right? Why is Yah saying that I'm going to take vengeance on anybody that kill you? This is Yah. I can do what I want to do. Right, but why? Oh, he killed a bunch of people. Yeah, but this guy just murdered somebody. His blood is crying from the ground, avenge me. Why is Yah saying, read that verse again.
Verse 15. And Yahuwah said unto him, therefore, whosoever slay Cain, vengeance shall be taken on him sevenfold.
And it's worse, he said, it's going to be sevenfold if you kill Cain.
Because he wants Cain to be an example for everybody to see.
How is the example would be for him when he's a rotten guy? Amir, go ahead, what you got?
Cain tried to render his own will.
But I'm asking, why is Yah protecting him now?
Vengeance is mine. Vengeance is mine.
That's definitely right. That's right. Vengeance is definitely Yah's. But why? Why is he protecting this person? And he just murdered his brother. He just got smart with Yah. They say he was sassed. Right? But right here, Yah is saying, because he said, whosoever shall find me shall slay me. And Yah turned around and says, Yep, granting him repentance, definitely. And Yahuwah said unto him, therefore, whosoever slayeth Cain, vengeance shall be taken on him sevenfold. Read.
And Yahuwah set a mark upon Cain, lest any finding him should kill him.
So he put a mark on Cain. What do we think this mark is? Did he get leprosy and turn into a white guy? Like they told us? What do we think this mark is? And what does this mark do? Stop him from killing them. So in other words, it does what for him? Protects him or saves him. Right? Keep that in mind. So this mark will stop somebody from killing you, or it will save you. Now we got to try to hunt down this mark and see what it really is. Let's get Genesis chapter 9 and verse 14.
Chapter 9, so you about to learn each other.
Genesis chapter 9 and verse 14.
Genesis chapter 9 and verse 14. And it shall come to pass, when I bring a cloud over the earth.
When I do what?
Bring a cloud over the earth.
Let me ask y'all something. When Mashiach came down, what was he always in? In the what? In the cloud, right? Read on.
And I will remember my covenant, which is between me and you, and every living creature of all flesh. And the waters shall be no more, shall no more become a flood to destroy all flesh.
Go ahead.
And the bow shall be in the cloud.
And the what's going to be in the cloud?
And the bow shall be in the cloud.
And the bow. Read.
And I will look upon it, that I remember the everlasting covenant between Elohim and every living creature of all flesh that is upon the earth.
Okay. Now remember, he said a mark on Cain, right? Let's see what that word is. I need somebody to get y'all definitions out and hold them out for me. Mark, yeah. 8226. It's a sign or a signal, right? 8226 is the word. So let's go back to that Genesis 9. Pick it up at verse 17 again.
Genesis chapter 9 and verse 17. And Elohim said unto Noah, this is the token.
This is what?
This is the token.
This word token right here is the exact same word, 8226. So it says, and Elohim said unto Noah, this is the mark
of the covenant.
Of the covenant. Same exact word. Hold on to that. Read.
That I may remember the everlasting covenant between Elohim and every living creature of all flesh that is upon the earth.
So what was being seen that was showing about this covenant? The what? The rainbow. Keep that in mind. The bow. Exodus chapter 3 and verse 12.
Exodus chapter 3 and verse 12. And he said, certainly I will be with you.
I will what?
I will be with you.
I will be with you. Who is this talking? Read.
And this shall be a token.
This shall be what?
A token.
What's the token right here, or the sign right here?
The mark.
So he says, and he said, certainly I will be with you. So him being with him is what? The sign or the token, right? Or the mark. Read.
He said, certainly I will be with you, and this shall be a token unto you. that I have sent you when you have brought forth the people out of Egypt.
So this is the sign or the mark or the token. Me being with you is the mark or the sign or the token. Numbers chapter 17 verse 10. Before we get there, what did Aaron's rod symbolize? His rod was dead, right? And it budded. What did that symbolize? Who was it pointing to? It was pointing to Messiah, right? All right, read. 17 and verse 10. So remember, he says, I didn't send my son in the world to condemn the world, but to save it. Read.
Numbers chapter 17 and verse 10. And Yahuwah said unto Moses, bring Aharon's rod again before the testimony, to be kept for a token.
For what?
For a token.
For a mark or a sign. Read.
Against the rebels.
Against who?
Against the rebels.
What is a rebel?
Fight against him.
Somebody that's against him, right? That goes against Nimrod was a rebel. Read.
And you shall quite take away their murmurings from me, that they die not.
That they what?
That they die not.
So this token right here, or this mark, is saving the rebels. Read that one more time.
And Yahuwah said unto Moses, bring Aharon's rod again before the testimony, to be kept for a token.
For what?
To be kept for a token.
Remember,
or a
Messiah is, the rod is symbolic of him. Because it's in the ark. It budded and came back to life, like he came back to life. Read.
And you shall quite take away the murmurings from me, that they die not.
That they what?
Die not.
So these rebels that really deserve to die, this thing is keeping them alive. What is Messiah?
The token. The mark.
He is it. We're going to see he the mark. It's going to be hard for you to let go, but it's going to show you that he is the mark of salvation, to keep you alive. Because Cain going to show you who he really represents. Psalms 86.
Hallelujah.
Hold on 1 second. Psalms 86 verse 17.
Psalms 86 verse 17. Show me a token for good, that they may hate me, that they which hate me may see it and be ashamed, because you, Yahuwah, have hope in me and comforted me.
And did what?
And comforted me.
So again he says, show me a token for good. Remember, there's none good but Elohim, which is pointing to him, of course. Right? Isaiah 7:14.
Isaiah chapter 7 verse 14. Therefore Yahuwah himself shall give you a sign.
Shall do what?
Shall give you a sign.
What is the sign? Read.
Behold, a virgin shall conceive and bear a son, and shall call his name Emmanuel.
Emmanuel means Elohim with us. So the sign is Mashiach, or the mark is Mashiach. Remember, what did the mark was doing for Cain? It was saving him. It was keeping him alive. We got to ask why. We got to figure out why. Ezekiel chapter 9. Verse 4.
Ezekiel chapter 9 at verse 4. And Yahuwah said unto him, go through the midst of the city, through the midst of Jerusalem, and set a mark upon the foreheads of the men that sigh and cry.
That do what?
That sigh and cry.
He says, set a mark on the men's foreheads that sigh and that cry. Who are the people that sigh and that cry? Load takers. Hold that. Get Psalms chapter 79, verse 11.
Psalm 79:11. Let the sighing of the prisoner come before you.
Let the sighing of the prisoners come before you. Read.
According to the greatness of your power, preserve you those that are appointed to die.
He said, do what?
Preserve you those that are appointed to die.
Preserve. What does preserve mean?
Save.
Preserve those that are appointed to die. Cain's supposed to die, right? The way we look at it. Read.
And render unto our neighbors sevenfold.
Well, how many fold?
Sevenfold.
How many, he says, if you kill Cain, what was going to happen?
Sevenfold.
Sevenfold. Wow. Read.
Into their bosom their reproach, wherewith they have reproached you, O Yahuwah.
All right, give me Genesis chapter 9:17. One more time. We got to make sure who this mark is, or this sign is.
Genesis 9:17. And Elohim said unto Noah, this is the token of the covenant, which I have established between me and all flesh that is upon the earth. And the sons of Noah that went forth of the...
Right, we good right there. So we know that this sign is talking about the rainbow. He says, when I put my bow in the cloud, you got to look at it and you know this is my sign for you. Revelation chapter 10, verse 1.
Revelation chapter 10, verse 1. And I saw another mighty angel come down from Shamaim, clothed with a cloud, and a rainbow was upon his head.
What did he have on his head?
A rainbow was upon his head.
Who is this strong angel that's coming down in the cloud with the rainbow on his head? Mashiach, right? Read.
And his face was as it were the sun, and his feet as pillars of fire. And he had in the hand a little book open.
So we know it's him because he's the only one that can open up the book. But notice, he's in the cloud and he got the rainbow on. So that mark or that token that they were seeing, it was him. He is the mark that was on Cain to save him. But again, we got to figure out why is he saving Cain? For what reason is he saving Cain? Why did he put this mark on him? To save him. Genesis chapter 4, verse 23.
There was sheep, chapter 4, verse 23. And Lamech said unto his wives, Adah and Zillah, hear my voice, you wives of Lamech. Hearken unto my speech, for I have slain a man to my wounding, and a young man to my hurt. If Cain shall be avenged sevenfold, truly Lamech 70 and sevenfold.
What is he getting at? 70 and sevenfold. If Cain gonna be avenged sevenfold, I'm gonna be avenged 70 and 70. Read that one more time.
If Cain shall be avenged sevenfold, truly Lamech 70 and sevenfold.
What is this pointing to? 70 and 7. That's somewhere else in script. Forgiveness. Hold that. Matthew chapter 18, verse 21.
Matthew 18, verse 21. Then came Peter to him and said, Master, how often shall my brother sin against me? My brother sin against me, and I forgive him. Till 7 times? Mashiach said unto him, I say not unto you until 7 times, but until 70 times 7.
So Lamech was saying this about If somebody kill me, I'm going to be avenged. But Mashiach is showing you the real meaning of it. It's about forgiveness, right? The whole thing is about forgiveness. No matter how many times your brother sin against you, if he repent and mean it, you better forgive him, right? But this is a hard thing to do. So again, we got to find out why. Who was the oldest between Cain and Abel? Cain, right? He said, Israel is what? Israel is my firstborn, right? You're probably looking at me, so you're doing something. So, Israel is my firstborn. Cain is the firstborn. Murdered his brother, right? Who murdered Messiah? Who did? Israel did. Right? Remember, he was on the stake and he was saying, let us crucify him. Let his blood be on us and on our children, right? So, Cain killed his brother. We killed our brother, our big brother, right? If Cain deserves death, then what? So do we. Israel deserved death, right? But it says, let's go back to that Genesis chapter 4. 24? No, Genesis chapter 4. Pick it up at about verse 7.
Verse 7. Genesis 4 and 7. If you do well, shall you not be accepted? If you do not well, sin lie at the door.
What lie at the door?
Sin.
Go ahead.
And unto you shall be his desire, and you shall rule over him.
Read.
And Cain talked with Abel his brother. And it came to pass when they were in the field that Cain rose up against Abel his brother and slew him. And Yahuwah said unto Cain, where is Abel your brother? And he said, I know not. Am I my brother's keeper? And he said, what have you done? The voice of your brother's blood cry unto me from the ground.
He said, the voice of your brother's blood cry unto me from the ground. What is his blood crying again?
Vengeance.
Vengeance, right? Let's see something. Let's get Hebrews chapter 12 and verse 24. Because remember, we said crucify him, let his blood be on us and our children. Then they stabbed him in his side and his blood did what? Fell to the ground, right? Read.
Hebrews 12:24. The Mashiach, the mediator of the new covenant, and to the blood of sprinkling that speak better things than that of Abel.
His blood did what?
Speak better things than that of Abel.
So what is his blood screaming out?
Forgiveness.
Forgiveness.
Hallelujah.
His blood is screaming out forgiveness, not vengeance.
Hallelujah.
Oh my goodness. So again, if Cain deserved death, then Israel deserved death.
Hallelujah.
He was showing us something all the way back with saving Cain, that I'm going to do the same thing for my people. Because y'all killed me. Y'all killed me.
Hallelujah.
So if you was thinking, I wanted to kill Cain, that ain't right. Look at yourself in the mirror and say, I deserve it as well. Because the ways of the sin is what?
Hallelujah.
We all undid it, right? This is the reason why he put this mark on Cain to preserve him, because he knew that Israel was going to need the same exact thing.
Hallelujah.
Genesis 4:16.
Genesis chapter 4 verse 16. And Cain went out from the presence of Yahuwah.
Yahuwah kicked him out.
And Cain went out from the presence of Yahuwah.
Your sins have separated you from me. Can't stay around them. Just like when you trying to live a righteous life, your old friends can't stand to be around you no more. Oh man, you want to come with that Bible stuff, man. Got to go. Read.
And Cain went out from the presence of Yahuwah and dwelt in the land of Nod, on the east of Eden.
On where?
On the east of Eden.
On the east of Eden. Now you about to see something. The east of Eden. Where y'all think this, again, this Nod means land of wandering. BJ, get back. This means the land of wandering. Right? Where y'all think he really was at?
Arabia.
Arabia? Could. Could be. Let's see something. Genesis chapter 16, verse 10.
Genesis chapter 16 and verse 10. And the angel of Yahuwah said unto her, I will multiply your seed exceedingly.
She's speaking about Ishmael, read.
That it shall not be numbered for multitude. And the angel of Yahuwah said unto her, Behold, you are with child, and shall bear a son, and shall call his name Ishmael.
Read.
Because Yahuwah have heard your affliction. And he will be a wild man. His hand will be against every man.
Notice his hand gonna be against every man. This guy's a warrior. It plays out in the end. Read.
And every man's hand against him. And he shall dwell in the presence of all his brethren.
Where is he going to dwell?
In the presence of all his brethren.
In the presence of all his brethren. East of Eden. Genesis chapter 25, verse 1.
Genesis chapter 25 and verse 1. Then again, Abraham took a wife, and her name was Keturah. And she bare him Zimran, and Jokshan, and Medan, and Midian, and Ishbak, and Shua. And Jokshan begot Sheba, and Dedan, and the sons of Dedan were Asherim, and Letusim, and Leumim, unto the east country.
Unto the what country?
East country.
Unto the east country. But why everybody over here make everything about the west? It didn't say that Cain went westward. He went eastward. Keep it in mind. Sent them to the east country. 14.
2 Chronicles chapter 9 and verse 14. Gold and silver to Solomon.
So we have Arabia right here from the H6152. It says Arab, steppe dweller. From 6150 in the figurative sense of sterile Arab, that is Arabia, a country east of Palestine. What did all these people do when we read about the tabernacles? What did that tabernacle mean? Nomads tent, right? What do nomads do? They wander. So Cain is wandered out into the land of wandering. Let's see one more. Judges chapter 6 and verse 3. Judges chapter 6 verse 3.
The book of Judges chapter 6 and verse 3. And so it was, when Israel had sown, that the Midianites came up, and the Amalekites, and the children of the east.
And the children of who?
And the children of the east.
Read.
Even they came up against them, and they encamped against them, and destroyed the increase of the earth, till you come unto Gaza, and left no sustenance for Israel, neither sheep, nor ox, nor donkey. For they came up with their cattle in their tents, and they came as grasshoppers for multitude.
As what?
As grasshoppers for multitude.
So these people came as grasshoppers for multitude. You can go to Revelation and find out the second part of the meaning of this, if you choose. So again, the east country, which we know is Arabia. Genesis chapter 4, 14 again.
Genesis of Bereshit chapter 4 and verse 14. Behold, you have driven me out this day from the face of the earth, and from your face shall I be hid, and I shall be a fugitive and a vagabond in the earth. And it shall come to pass that every one that find me shall slay me.
Every one that finds me shall slay me. Read.
And Yahuwah said unto him, therefore, whosoever slay Cain, vengeance shall be taken upon him sevenfold. And Yahuwah set a mark upon Cain, lest any finding him should kill him. And Cain went out from the presence of Yahuwah and dwelt in the land of Nod on the east of Eden. And Cain knew his wife.
He did what?
And Cain knew his wife.
As soon as Adam left, he knew his wife. He followed him in his father's footsteps. Immediately he leaves, he gets a wife. Isaiah 59 verse 1.
Isaiah chapter 59 and verse 1. Behold, Yahuwah's hand is not short that it cannot save.
It is what?
Behold, Yahuwah's hand is not short that it cannot save.
Remember, he didn't trust Yah to protect him, so he left. He's telling right here, my hand ain't short that I can't save. I am the Savior.
Yeah.
I can keep you. He didn't trust Yah. Read.
Neither his ear heavy that it cannot hear. But your iniquities have separated between you and your Elohim.
I gotta go. I can't be in your presence. It's killing me. Read.
And your sins have hid his face from you, that he would not hear. For your hands are defiled with blood.
All of this go right back to Cain. Read.
And your fingers with iniquity. Your lips have spoken lies.
They did what?
Spoken lies.
I know not what happened to my brother. You a liar. All of this is pointing back to him. Read.
Your tongue hath muttered perverseness. None call for justice, nor any plea for truth. They trust in vanity.
They do what?
Trust in vanity.
Trust in vanity. We're going to see what that means. They trust in vanity. Let's go back to Genesis 4:17.
Genesis 4:17. And Cain knew his wife, and she conceived, and bare Enoch, and he builded a city.
He did what?
Builded a city.
Where did he get the idea from to build a city? Where does that come from, and what's the point of the city? What do y'all think he built the city for? Protection. That's exactly. Yah, you can't protect me. I'm going to build a city because the city is going to protect me. What's better protection? Yah guns. Wow, easy, right? But he think the city is better protection from him. Read that verse one more time.
And Cain knew his wife, and she conceived, and bare Enoch, and he builded a city.
He did what?
Builded a city.
Builded a city. Let's get Revelation chapter 3, verse 12. Where did he get the idea from to make a city? Where did that come from? You gotta find out.
Revelation 3 and 12. Him that overcome will I make a pillar in the temple of my Elohim. He shall go no more out, and I will write upon him the name of my Elohim, and the name of the city of my Elohim.
And the name of the city. So Yah had a city in the beginning. Cain knew about the city. They had to meet him somewhere to do their sacrifices. He knew about the city. Revelations 21 and 2.
Revelation chapter 21 and verse 2. And I, John, or Yehukanan, saw the Kodesh city, New Jerusalem, coming down from Elohim out of Shamayim,
declaring an end from the beginning. Read.
Prepared as a bride adorned for her husband. And I heard a great voice out of Shamaim saying,
We good right there. So he knew about Yah's city. Genesis chapter 3, verse 22.
Bereshit chapter 3 and verse 22. And Yahuwah Elohim said, Behold, the man is become as one of us, to know good and evil. And now, lest he put forth his hand, and take also of the tree of life, and eat, and live forever. Therefore Yahuwah Elohim sent him forth from the Garden of Eden, to till the ground from whence he was taken. So he drove out the man, and he placed at the east of the Garden of Eden cherubim and flaming sword which turned every way, to keep the way of the tree of life.
So he knew that the city was guarded. Right? He knew the city was guarded. Can we think of another city that the people building? What is it? Babel. Genesis chapter 11. All of this come from him.
Genesis chapter 11 and verse 1. And the whole earth was of one language and of one speech. And it came to pass as they journeyed from the east.
They journeyed from where?
The east.
Wow, they come from the east again. Wow, everything points east. But we think west. Read.
That they found a plain in the land of Shinar. And they dwelt there. And they said one to another, Go to, let us make brick and burn them thoroughly. And they had brick for stone, and slime had they for mortar. And they said, Go to, let us build us a city.
Let us do what?
Build us a city.
So Cain built the first city. Now they making a city. For what reason? Read.
And a tower whose top may reach unto Shamaim. And let us make us a name.
Let us do what?
Let us make us a name.
We gotta make a name for ourselves. Pride. Read.
Or else we be scattered abroad upon the face of the whole earth.
So they knew it was a sin, right? Mm-hmm. Because they knew, let's do it quick. So before he find out, if he find out, he gonna scatter us abroad, which he already told you, that's what I want you to do.
Yeah.
So they builded a city in defiance of him, just like Cain, because they thought it could protect them, right? What are the first thing when we in slavery with the Egyptians, what do they make us do? Do what? Make bricks? For what? To do what? To build a city. Exodus chapter 1, pick it up at verse 7.
Exodus chapter 1 at verse 7. And the children of Israel were fruitful and increased abundantly, and multiplied and waxed exceeding mighty, and the land was filled with them. Now there arose a new king over Egypt, which knew not Joseph. And he said unto his people, Behold, the people of the children of Israel are more and mightier than we. Come on, let us deal wisely with them, lest they multiply, and it come to pass that when there fall out any war.
Any what?
Any war.
Any war. We need something to protect us. Read.
They join also unto our enemies and fight against us, and so get them up out of the land. Therefore they did set over them taskmasters to afflict them with their burden. And they built for Pharaoh treasure cities.
They did what?
Built for Pharaoh treasure cities.
All of these cities go right back to Cain. They built them for security.
Yeah.
Right? That's what these things are built for. So when you see these buildings and all of this, it's for security against Yah. Security, safety, right? But Yah is the Savior and the security. 1 Thessalonians chapter 5, verse 2.
1 Thessalonians chapter 5 and verse 2. For yourselves know perfectly that the day of Yahuwah so come as a thief in the night.
As what?
As a thief in the night. For when they shall say peace and safety.
So say what?
Peace and safety.
When they say peace and safety, the cities are for security, for safety. When they say it, what?
Then sudden destruction come upon them, as travail upon a woman with child, and they shall not escape.
And they shall what?
Not escape.
And they shall not escape. Isaiah 30:25.
Isaiah chapter 30 and verse 25. And there shall be upon every high mountain and upon every high hill rivers and streams of waters in the day of the great slaughter.
In the day of what?
The day of the great slaughter. When the towers fall.
When what?
The towers fall.
When the towers fall. So your security that you built for yourself to think that you can hide from me, to get away from me, it's going to all crumble down. About 10 years ago, I thought this was talking about in New York. Right? Nothing to do with it. This is at the end. All cities. So remember, the people in Joshua had a great city, right? Let's go there. Joshua chapter 6. Pick it up at verse 1.
Joshua chapter 6 and verse 1. Now Jericho was straitly shut up because of the children of Israel. None went out and none came in. And Yahuwah said unto Joshua, see, I have given into your hand Jericho, and the king thereof, and the mighty men of valor, and you shall compass the city, all you men of war, and go round about the city once. Thus shall you do 6 days.
So he's already telling them like it's already done. I've already given it to you. You just need to go and do it. It's already yours. Verse 10.
Verse 10. And Joshua had commanded the people, saying, you shall not shout, nor make any noise with your voice, neither shall any word proceed out of your mouth until the day I bid you. Shout.
Until the day I bid you. Don't say nothing. Don't say a word. Verse 13.
Verse 13. And 7 priests bearing 7 trumpets of the ram's horns before the ark of Yahuwah went on continually, and blew with the trumpets, and the armed men went before them. But the rearward came after the ark of Yahuwah, the priests going on and blowing with the trumpets. And the second day they compassed the city once, and returned into the camp. So they did 6 days. And it came to pass on the 7th day that they arose early about the dawning of the day, and compassed the city after the same manner 7 times.
How many times?
7 times.
7 times. And they got cannons and bulldozers and everything with them, right? They got nuclear bombs and everything with them, right? They don't got nothing with them? Wow. Verse 20.
So the people shouted with the priests, when the priests blew with the trumpets. And it came to pass, when the people heard the sound of the trumpet, and the people shouted with a great shout, that the wall fell down flat, so that the people went up into the city, every man straight before him, and they took the city.
So he destroyed a city without no weapons, right? So what do you think the city can do for you? He just destroyed a whole city that was supposed to be unbeatable with just noise. Destroyed it. What do you think all the cities in the earth gonna get? Revelation 16:19. Because they all built from Cain. Cain had a godless society, a Yahless society. They the ones started the quote-unquote industrial revolution. We don't need to farm. We build cars, we build houses, we build things. We don't need our own food. So Seth and them look like country bumpkins, right? And we want to get out and be a part of the city. But the city gonna get it. Revelation 16 verse 19.
Revelation 16 verse 19. And the great city was divided into 3 parts. And the cities of the nations fell.
And what?
And the cities of the nations fell.
Every one of them gonna fall. Because they all built after Cain for security and for bragging purposes to build your pride up. Read that one more time.
And the great city was divided into 3 parts. And the cities of the nations fell.
And the cities of the nations fell. Read.
And great Babylon came in remembrance before Elohim to give unto her the cup of wine.
To give her what?
Unto her the cup of wine.
Finally, you're going to get what you deserve. The mark ain't going to last no longer. You're going to die. Last script, Hebrews 13:14.
Hebrews chapter 13 and verse 14. For here have we no continuing city, but we seek one to come.
But we what?
But we seek one to come.
But we seek one to come. What's the city that we seeking to come? New Jerusalem that's coming down. Not these cities, because they are all following Cain's ways. Yahweh society. Everything backwards. With that, say shalom.
Shalom. Hallelujah. Questions, comments, you like it, you hate it, teach that one again, don't teach that one again. We need a part 2. Go ahead, Al.
When the next said he killed the man to his hurt, does that mean he killed him in righteousness and he defended himself?
No, he's bragging.
Oh, okay.
He's bragging about it. He wicked.
And his line, he wicked. Yeah, he bragging about it. He come home bragging to his wives on what he done. Then he say, surely if Cain gonna be avenged 7 times, I'm gonna be avenged 70 times 7 if somebody touch me. He bragging about it. No sincerity. I think he actually rhyming. I think it's actually like a poem that he doing. Which they were the first, they started the first instruments, the first music. So I think that boy was spitting. But we wouldn't have no wicked poetry going on in today's time, would we? We would? No, it couldn't be. Yep, first gangster.
I'm tired.
Good. Touch on that, he shall be his desire and thou shalt rule over.
Go back to that.
What are you talking about?
So it's the object right here is talking about pride or sin. Right here, read it.
And if you do well, shall you not be accepted? And if you do not well, sin lie at the door.
So you got to identify what's lying at the door. What's lying at the door? Sin is lying at the door. Read.
And unto you shall be his desire.
So sin is desiring to rule over you. Right? It's desiring to rule over all of us. And it comes in the cloak of pride. Right? And you have to control your pride or it's going to control you. For most of our lives, it's been controlling us, right? So he's telling you, rule over it. If you don't rule over it, it's going to rule over you. Read that again.
If you do well, shall you not be accepted? If you do not well, sin lie at the door. And unto you shall be his desire.
Unto what?
Unto you shall be his desire.
So just like when he says, unto you shall be his desire, Mashiach told Peter, I prayed for you because Satan really, really wants you. Right? It's the same thing. He after everybody. And if you don't control it, it's going to control you. As we see, Cain didn't take the advice and sin ruled over him. Because he go right and kill his brother. Alright?
You said you shouldn't like wish death for anybody or nothing like that. Is it wrong when you say somebody like you gonna read
You really, again, what have you sown in your life?
Yeah, I'm asking.
See, exactly. Exactly. Because if you put that out there, you're going to reap what you sow. And you got to think, dang, I reaped some stuff. I sowed some stuff myself. That's the whole reason why he's telling you to get this whole judgmental attitude out of you. He going to take care of it. But the pride make you want to, I just got to say it to you. Wicked devil, you're going to reap what you. You know what I'm saying? I understand. Believe me, I understand.
It's like that saying, what's understood don't really got to be explained. You know what I'm saying? So if you understand that this is what's going to happen to him, you ain't got to really put it out there.
And you really want him to repent. That's the thing. That's what we got to really get to. I want this person to repent. Of course, they're going to pay for the sin that they've committed. Like a brother that used to be around us is locked up right now. And a lot of people felt like he did what he deserved. I'm happy he in there. Again, he did some super wickedness. But I felt like, dang, I hope that dude repent while he locked up. I hope he repent. I hope he don't get the lake of fire. I really want him to repent for what he done. You know what I'm saying? The old me used to say when I see somebody homosexual, oh, I can't wait till y'all kill him, put him on an island and blow them all up. That ain't right. You know what I'm saying? It ain't right. It's judgmental. Because we quickly forget the stuff that we was just doing. Anything else?
Got a couple joints on the chat.
Before, I don't know if Cain actually was in Arabia, but I believe he was in Arabia. Before somebody say that, I believe that he was in Arabia.
What we got?
How do you like your, oh, no. So how do you like your pizza?
I like my pancakes with syrup
Deep
on the
dish.
side.
Hallelujah, that was deep. Let's see. Shalom, brothers. Question. Where was Abel when he was crying out to Yah? Where was his soul? Wasn't he supposed to sleep, waiting on his return? When we die, are we asleep?
It's his blood.
It wasn't
Remember, it's his blood that's crying out the same way it was under the altars crying out for vengeance. You know what I'm saying? But Mashiach's blood cries out forgiveness, mercy, as opposed to his.
So it's not like literally saying Abel was on the ground crying out, or he was, you know what I'm saying?
Like his soul was somewhere.
Yeah, it wasn't. It's not like that. Yeah, he was asleep. He was definitely asleep. Just think of Saul. When Saul died, you know what I'm saying? And that boy, I mean not Saul, Samuel. When Samuel died, and Saul came to try to, you know what I'm saying, holler at him, right? To say, when the median went to speak to him, she saw him. And when he spoke, he says, why you wake me up from my sleep? Because he was at rest, he was asleep. He wasn't down there partying, or, you know, like a lot of people say, like in Abraham's bosom, you know what I'm saying? Looking over into the people who's in the torments. Anybody else?
I got you.
Anybody else got any other question? He was that thorough. We don't have not one question. I can dig it. You got something? You got it.
It's not directly connected, but the same type of pattern. Right. Going away from Yah, wandering all through the wilderness, doing the same type of madness out in the desert, same actions. And I believe in the same land mass, doing the same thing.
Question. Cain, who didn't he trust? The Most High, right? Which caused him to build a what? For Psalms 18 and 2. So this actually says the complete opposite of what your man's did.
You said Psalms?
Yep, Psalm 18 and 2.
18 and 2?
Yep.
Psalms chapter 18 and verse 2. Yahuwah is my rock and my fortress and my deliverer, my Elohim, my strength, in whom I will trust, my buckler and the horn of my salvation and my high tower.
So that's what we got to rely on. So don't think like we in the city right now, like don't get it in your mind like, well, I gotta go and move out to the country because the cities is gonna get destroyed. Every place is gonna get touched. Right? A lot of people moving out into the countries, you know what I'm saying, for various reasons. But more so, we gonna be safe out here. Just because you are saying that you believe don't mean that out there is going to be safe. It said because when they scream safety, then what's going to happen? Swift destruction. Right? So we got to remember that the Most High in every situation is our high tower. He is our city, no matter what. I just wanted to mention that before we got off. Check the chat one more time for questions.
Go ahead, Alex. It's gonna definitely fall. Definitely. Larry, go ahead. It don't tell you. It just lets you know if somebody come along and kill him, he's going to be avenged sevenfold. But if it's an accident, let's go to it. I believe he actually addressed that. Genesis chapter 4. Because it's actually two different words for the kill, and it says, one of them says slay. But I ain't dogmatic on it. Genesis chapter 4, pick it up at verse 14. Genesis 4:14.
Genesis 4:14. Behold, you have driven me out this day from the face of the earth, and from your face shall I be hid, and I shall be a fugitive and vagabond in the earth. And it shall come to pass that every one that find me shall slay me.
Slay me. This slay me is 8:20:26. And it's to kill, slay, murder, destroy, murderer, slayer, out of hand. Primitive root to smite with deadly intent, destroy out of hand. All right? So, read on.
And Yahuwah said unto him, therefore, whosoever slay Cain, vengeance shall be on him sevenfold. And Yahuwah set a mark upon Cain, lest any finding him should kill him.
So he says kill him right here. That's a different word altogether. 8:52:21. To strike, smite, hit, beat, slay, kill, to be stricken. I don't know, this one could be like an accident or whatever. It don't sound as hard as the other one, but I can't say if it's what it is if somebody accidentally killed him. Now I know that the other books speak about that, but I personally don't mess with that stuff.
Question. What does the Feast of Trumpets look like? What should we be doing?
It's a Sabbath. You should be treating it like a Sabbath. Gathering if you had the opportunity. It's a feast day, like all the rest of the feast days, but it's a Sabbath. They asked about, the question was about the Feast of Trumpets. What should we be doing? To treat it just like a Sabbath. It is a Sabbath.
Did Cain eventually repent? Does the scriptures show?
It don't say it, and then all through the book, it shows that he was wicked. It tells us, if you hate your brother in your heart, you are a murderer already. Don't be like Cain, because he was of the wicked one. So from the scriptures, and then we get the other one that says, hold on, let me see what it is. One moment. One moment. All right, let's go to Jude chapter 1. Pick it up at Jude 1 and verse 10.
Jude verse 10. But these speak evil of those things which they know not, but what they know naturally as brute beasts, in those things they corrupt themselves. Woe unto them.
Woe unto them.
For they have gone in the way of Cain.
They did what?
Gone in the way of Cain.
In the way of Cain, read.
And ran greedily after the error of Balaam for reward, and perished in the gainsaying of Korah.
So every time it's mentioning him, it still mentions him as wicked. There's no record, according to the scriptures, that he repented of what he done.
Right, so like on the opposing side, he don't mention David like this, because David repented, so he don't say, and like that wicked David, or like David, you know what I'm saying? He mentions David in a good light.
When we get a little deeper on the Feast of Trumpets, it's more than just a Sabbath. Maybe bring it out.
Yeah, we can. I mean, but, you know, let's go read it. So all of the feast days are for us to remember, recollect, and to deal with what those feasts are pertaining to, right? Like with the question, what should we be doing? Let's deal with it. This is why B gave the answer that he gave. This is Leviticus chapter 23, verse 23. And Yahuwah spake unto Moshe, saying, Speak unto the children of Israel, saying, In the 7th month, in the 1st day of the month, shall you have a Sabbath, a memorial of blowing of trumpets, a Kodesh convocation. You shall do no servile work therein, but you shall offer an offering made by fire unto Yahuwah. So when he said it was a Sabbath, and what it looked like a Sabbath. And we hold a memorial for the blowing of the trumpets. Outside of that, I mean, we don't have a commandment for it.
Not commanded together. Not commanded together.
To who?
Together.
Yeah. It says a Kodesh convocation. Definitely supposed to gather on that Shabbat. Like on every Shabbat. Don't get it twisted. Every Shabbat that he say have a holy convocation, come together.
And is it just like a regular Shabbat, or are we cooking, we eating, celebrating?
Yes, we cook for that Shabbat. You said, are we eat? Yes, we eat for that Shabbat. It's definitely a feast day.
Yep. Was there anything in particular that you wanted to?
No, I just want to bring everything out. When you say it's just like a Shabbat, that can confuse some people. It's not just like a Shabbat, it's a little bit different. So I like the details. I like being clear.
Okay. Well, what difference do you think needs to be addressed?
Oh, he had, let everybody know it's a hot Shabbat, it's a feast. We're gonna gather, we're gonna drink, we're gonna eat. It's not like just chilling around watching lessons. It's a little different.
What days is the Feast of Trumpets? What days I think it's the 29th.
Yep, trumpets fall on, I think we got September 29th. It says, can you mention all the feast days that we're supposed to keep? All the ones that's in Leviticus. The ones that we are commanded to keep, we keep.
Yeah, we do the ones that's commanded. Leviticus 23, the Feast of Unleavened Bread, the Pesach, Passover, the Feast of Weeks, Feast of Trumpets, Day of Atonement, Feast of Tabernacles.
Oh, we got another question. How is 2 Kings 2 and 23 and 24 different than wishing bad on someone? So I think you are pointing to the man Elisha. Second Kings 2 and 23 and 24. And it reads, and he went up from thence unto Bethel, and he was going up by the way. There came forth little children out of the city, and mocked him, and said unto him, go up, you bald head, go up, you bald head. And he turned back and looked on them, and cursed them in the name of Yahuwah. And there came forth 2 she-bears out of the wood, and tear 42 children of them. And he went from thence unto Mount Carmel, and from thence he returned to Samaria.
And what was the question again?
How is this different than wishing bad on somebody?
Okay, when you actually read this whole account, you see that they was following him before Elijah was taken up. And they are not children, as little children as the KJV make it sound. So we're going to read it from a different version. From the ISV, but you got to actually go back and see what was going on. It says, later Elisha left there to go up to Bethel, and as he was traveling along the road, some insignificant young men came from the city and started mocking him. They told him, get up, Baldy, get up, Baldy. So they teasing him about being a baldy or having a bald head. See if he get my butter and put on it, he can come back. Something else.
Plug.
You got bald butter.
Said, how is this different than talking about than wishing bad on somebody?
Yeah, how is this different than wishing bad on somebody when the youth were cursed?
Well, right here, Yah actually granted his wish, and because he did it in Yah's name, and he looked behind him, took note. Read it from the other version.
The KJV.
Yeah.
It says, and he went up from thence unto Bethel, and as he was going up by the way, there came forth little children or youths out of the city, and mocked him, and said unto him, Go up, you bald head. Going up, you bald head. And he turned back and looked on them, and cursed them in the name of Yahuwah. And there came forth 2 she-bears out of the woods, and tear 42 children of them.
So he cursed them, but it don't say that he sent the bears out to destroy them. So we would have to assume that Yah did this.
Yeah.
And not him.
He probably could have said, you little bastards, go ahead and get up out
of here. And he turned back and looked on them and cursed them in the name of Yahuwah. And there came forth 2 she-bears out of the woods, and tear 42 children of them. So again, it don't say that Elijah or Elisha did this. He did curse him, but I believe Yah did this.
Next question. Was the angel that wrestled with Jacob in a physical body? And if it was a physical one, was it Mashiach?
It was definitely Mashiach, and he definitely was there with him in a physical form. Don't know what form, but he was there physically wrestling with him, and his hip was really out of place. It's not a metaphor.
Genesis 32:32. Therefore the children of Israel eat not of the sinew which shrink, which is upon the hollow of the thigh unto this day, because he touched the hollow of Jacob's thigh and the sinew of the shrink. What does this mean?
I mean, this part of the animal, the hip, or whatever this is, that the children of Israel didn't eat this part. Yeah, it's like the tendon inside, and he let you know because this took place that the children of Israel don't eat this.
Hey, my science man said, I'm bald, I don't appreciate those laughs. And he did not put LOL. Y'all better put laughing.
We was only laughing at the oct that's in here with us. It's a couple of them in here. And I'm going to personally get their hair back.
So we apologize for any offense. We apologize for any offense. Honestly. Did Jacob urge Esau to take the presents? Did Jacob urge Esau to take the presents he was giving him as an apology for stealing the birthright, and when they were younger?
What's that question again?
Yeah, you talking about when Jacob went to Esau trying to give him the stuff here.
Said, did Jacob urge Esau to take the presents he was giving him as an apology for stealing his birthright?
Yeah, he did it before. He was trying to appease him and cool him down to give him his stuff back, which was rightfully his. So yes, definitely.
Did Jacob understand that when he was wrestling with the angel, that he was earning his blessing? Not at first.
Definitely not at first. Afterwards he knew.
Please post the Chosen Seed Cash App. This is James and I'm not bald. We got you out. Thank you for posting the Cash App. All right. Okay.
When you read Genesis, I guess 3:22, right? Yeah. And the father was kicking Adam out the garden when he told him to unless he put forth his hand and reach to eat the tree of life. When you say, was he giving him another chance to repent and he never did? You know what I'm saying?
Nah, he couldn't let him eat from it now because he's in sin. His body ain't pure and perfect no more. He don't got his light on no more. If he eat from it, he gonna be in this state forever. You know what I'm saying? He'll be living forever with sin, right? Because it's in him now, right? Yeah, so I can't let you eat in this state. You ain't perfect no more.
Is that all we got? Y'all ready to eat? I heard all the kids like, yes, right now. You said this what the Shabbat was about. So we're going to eat food. That's right. That's right. All right, y'all. Let's go ahead and pray out. Hallelujah. Hallelujah.
Get all the way over here.
Everybody call you one back.
All right, it's clear.
I call you CJ. I call you CJ.
Father, y'all, we stand before you, Father, giving thanks, Father, for the blood that was shed for the remission of our sins, Father, to reconcile and atone for our transgressions, Father. Father, we thank you for every soul that is gathered together, Father. We pray and ask, Father, that you would continue to lead us and guide us into righteousness, Father. And continue to order our steps, Father, and be a light into our path. Use us as vessels for your word to flow through, Father. Allow your Ruach to bring comfort and peace, Father. Help to sustain the quality of life, Father, that we will continue to walk in righteousness, Father, seeking first the kingdom and its righteousness, and that everything that we desire will be added unto us according to your will and your way, Father. Father, we pray for every soul that when we depart from this place, Father, that we will not depart from your presence, Father. We will keep it ever present on our minds, Father, to keep you first in our walk, Father, in our lives, Father. Father, we thank you for the word that went forth, Father. We pray that it will fall on the good ground of our heart, that it will be used for edification purposes, for the uplifting and the upbuilding of your kingdom, Father. Father, we just ultimately say thank you. Thank you for life. Thank you for peace. Thank you for your presence, Father. Thank you for family, Father. Father, we pray and ask, Father, that you would just continue to help us to be diligent, to be obedient unto your commandments, Father. All these things, Father, we pray and we give thanks. Hashem Yehovah, Mekaya, Hashur, Hamashiach, Baruch HaKodesh. So be it. So be it.
Abba Shemaim. Ikados. Serka. Tabo. Makuka. Yase. Resonka. Bades. Kasher. Nasha. Bashmai. Teganu. Ayon. Wiki. Kukadu. Uslat. Lanu. Eight. Asmatenu. Kasher. Suki. Alaknu. Nasher. Ashmu. Lanu. Wa'a. Kamilu. Dede. Wasa. Ki. Hasalanu. Hara. Ki. Laka. Amamlaka. Wai. Wahati Fare. Lome. Lami. So be it. Hallelujah. Good job.
Next time, do you know it? Do you know it? Rick, you don't know it? Hold on. Let me shut this down before we get